Hey there, thanks for joining me on this adventure. Today, we are going to talk through continuous improvement. What does it mean, and how do you use it in your business? I'm really excited about this one. This is one of those meta topics that covers a lot of just my general philosophy and how I think about business and how to improve operations. So, we're going to have lots of fun today on this one, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so talking through what is continuous improvement. Now, if you go look out there, you're going to find lots of different ways people describe this. They're all very consistent or fairly consistent, but one thing that bothers me about the way that a lot of people define it is they give these really long explanations to what it is and what it's about. And I think that you can really simplify your definition of what is continuous improvement. I'll start off by saying first, it's a mindset. It's how you think about things. You have to be in a continuous improvement mindset, thinking about how do I make things better? How do I improve from where I am today and make things more effective, more efficient, more productive? That's really the foundation of it. Now, in order to be in that mindset, there are a couple of things that you need to accept. First of all, you need to accept that something somewhere in your business isn't as good as it can be or should be. Okay. Once you accept that somewhere, something, one system in your business can get better, you're halfway there. You've accepted that, hey, I need to improve this thing. I can improve this thing, and it'll provide value back to me, back to my customers, back to my business. Uh, the next piece to it is you need to have the tools and the mental models to be able to actually affect change, and not just change, but positive change in your business. How do you actually improve something that you're doing in your business? You've got to have that skill set in order to put continuous improvement to work for you in your business. And then the last piece I would add to that is you have to be of the mindset that you should be improving your business. It's one thing to acknowledge that you could, it's another thing to actually acknowledge that you should, and then take action on that. So really, in my mind, continuous improvement, it's a mindset built around those three principles. You can improve things in your business. You have the skill set to make those improvements, and you actually should do it. And it will give you a positive return on the time and money that you spend actually improving your business. For today's additional topics on this and where we're going to dive in, I want to cover a few different areas. And this is something, it's a little bit new that I want to try. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I help folks that I work with one-on-one, and what are the common themes that come up in those conversations. So as we dive into continuous improvement today, I want to touch on those recurring themes to talk about how you can use continuous improvement to scale your business, how technology plays a role in that, either with technology or implementing technology. We're going to talk through how to solve problems with this information. We're going to cover a people aspect, talking about hiring and managing people. And then finish up with how do you really get started if you're either in a new business or you're new to continuous improvement and this idea of I can always improve stuff. How do you get started to make that happen? So those are going to be the different areas that we deep dive in today's discussion. So let's start off with scaling, talking about how does the idea of continuous improvement help you scale your business? What can it actually do for you there? The easiest way to think about this is with a story problem. Woohoo! One of those things we all got in school in math that lots of us didn't actually like doing. We're going to do one of those today. I promise I'll keep it real simple. But if you think about when your business is small, when you're just starting out, there are a lot of things that you do that are inefficient. Okay. And this is true for every business. It's not just you. It's true for me as well. Anybody, when they start a business, they start out with a lot of inefficiencies. You're very focused on getting a few things right to make sure your business is viable, to make sure that you start bringing in customers and get your brand out there. There are certain things that you focus on. A lot of times efficiency is not really one of those things. Now, what happens is a lot of times as businesses try and scale, they haven't invested the time or energy to fix those inefficiencies. And when we talk about scaling, the problem that I see most people have when they try and scale their business is everything scales together. Okay, if you have problems in your business, if you have inefficiencies in your business, giant time sinks in your business today, and you try and scale to make more money, you might get more money, you might be able to scale it, but those problems are going to scale with it. So if we get to that word problem, think about in your business, just as an example, if you have a system to onboard new customers, and every time you onboard a new customer, you waste 15 minutes of time for all kinds of reasons. And the reasons themselves are not super important here, but just go with that example. You onboard a new customer, you've got 15 minutes of waste in that system. When you're first starting out and you have 2 customers a week, that's not really a big deal. You're wasting 30 minutes over a week. We probably all do that on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you like doing in free time. So when you think about, I have this inefficiency in how I onboard new customers, and it takes me an extra 15 minutes of waste every time I do it, times 2, 30 minutes a week, not a big deal. Okay. But if you started to try and scale your business and you succeeded, and now you've got 100 customers a week, that 15 minutes that you're wasting scales with everything else. So now you're actually wasting 1,500 minutes a week just onboarding new customers, not driving value to your business, not giving your customers a better experience. It's just time and dollars wasted. That's now 25 hours a week that your business is wasting. Okay, so when you think about continuous improvement and how it can help you with scaling, continuous improvement is going to help you find those pockets of inefficiency. It's going to help you identify where you have waste in your business, and it's going to help you eliminate that waste. So that's how, when you think about continuous improvement and scaling, there's really a direct relationship around efficiency and making your business more efficient that will then make scaling easier for you and give you greater returns because you're going to eliminate a lot of that waste before you actually scale. Next, I want to cover just talking through some technology that can help you when we talk about implementing continuous improvement. 2 things that I want to cover on this. First, and this is a tool that I talk about a lot just because it is so powerful. It's so flexible when you're first starting out, especially. Excel and Google Sheets are your friend. You can do so much with one of those tools or with both of those tools. And they're really so powerful. And around continuous improvement, that's no exception. You can use Excel or Google Sheets as a way to start tracking baseline metrics. When we talk about continuous improvement, it's very important to understand at least one metric about a system that you're trying to improve, because that's going to tell you, are the things that I'm doing to make these improvements actually working or not? You've got to be able to measure your system and measure the results after you change things. And so thinking about how you can leverage technology specific to continuous improvement, using Excel or Google Sheets is a great tool to get you started recording metrics. Another piece of technology that you can use to help you in managing a continuous improvement program within your business is a project management tool. Now, there are loads of different flavors of tools out there. Some of the more popular ones include Asana, Basecamp, Teamwork, Trello. You can do this in Trello. There's probably 100 variations of this type of tool, project management tool. It's important that you get a tool like this for a couple of reasons. One is it's going to help you manage or keep track of all of your ideas for improving your business, tracking what you actually got in progress, what you've got on the back burner. It will allow you to not lose ideas on how you can improve your business. The other thing that it will do for you is it will help you give some prioritization to the work that you have to make these improvements. Now, you still have to use your own methodology for deciding what is important and what is not. What should you do first? What should you do second? What should you do third? And so on. But once you apply that to all of the work that you have to do, you can then use a project management tool to remember that order and then be able to process through those different tasks in the order that you've prioritized them. So, two different ways you can leverage technology to help with continuous improvement. I want to talk next about people management. So, how does continuous improvement help you manage people in your business, manage your employees or your contractors, whatever it is you use, even freelancers potentially could benefit from some continuous improvement. Starting off, just talking about hiring folks. When you do the work specific to continuous improvement, you're going to be doing a lot of understanding and some amount of documentation of what's happening in your business. And this really plays nicely into hiring people. Even if you don't have people in your business today, when you start hiring employees, some of the questions you ask yourself is, who do I need? What skill set do they need to have? How many hours do I need them for each day, each week, et cetera? The work that you do specific to continuous improvement is actually going to help you answer those questions because you'll have a good understanding of what's actually happening in your business. What does it take to do those things? What skills might a person need to do those things? And how much are you actually doing in your business? If you've got good metrics around how many hours a week you're spending just managing your social media, you now have a good baseline to start a discussion with hiring somebody for managing that social media. And you have an idea you need somebody for 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week or whatever the case may be. So that's one way that continuous improvement will help you better manage employees in your business. The other way is to approach the employees in your business as a resource to help you understand where you can be working on continually improving your business. The way that I've typically done this in the past is just ask them one-on-ones that you do every month, maybe once a quarter. It's going to be a little bit different depending on you and your setup, but you should at least once a quarter sit down with each of your employees, or if you've got teams that are managed by other people, have your team leaders sit down with the people that they're responsible for managing and have them just talk about what's going on in your world with each employee. What's going on in your world? What challenges are you having with your day-to-day work? What's keeping you up late at night? Where are you struggling? Where do you feel like you're wasting your time? Just having that conversation with folks is going to give you a lot of insight to where problems exist in your business and where you might spend effort making improvements that are actually going to give you a good return. So, two different ways you can think about managing employees with a continuous improvement mindset. The last thing I want to cover is solving problems in your business and talk about the relationship between continuous improvement and solving problems within your business. Continuous improvement, by its nature, is about solving problems. Something's not working well, something's not working as well as it could. You go in there, figure out what the problem is, make changes to make it better. So just by doing continuous improvement, you will be solving problems. The benefits really come when you start to understand the approach, the mental models, the way of thinking that actually help you solve problems. Okay, this is where we really get into systems thinking and thinking about what you do in systems and thinking about all the different tools that you can apply to make improvements in your business. There is a general process that you want to follow when you think about solving problems and making these improvements. So once you have identified, hey, this is what I want to work on, this is what I need to fix, the first thing you want to do is get a baseline of that system. What I mean by baseline is you have to identify one or more metrics around your system, around the activity that you're doing, that is going to give you an indication of, is this system working well, or how well is this system working? Two ways to think about that. With that baseline metric, you'll have that understanding, and you'll be able to then measure changes and the results of changes and compare them to that baseline. So what do I mean? Let's get a little bit more specific. Think about a sales conversion system. You've got a system in your business to take leads and actually convert them into sales. One metric that you might identify to capture as a baseline would be, what is your sales conversion percentage? If you talk to 100 leads, how many of those actually become sales? That's a really good baseline metric to understand how well that system is working. Okay. Now, any system in your business is going to have one or more metrics that you can use as a baseline. You just have to think about it, identify it, and then start capturing it. So if you think about a delivery system, how you deliver your products to your customers, you could have a metric around how many customers call or email with complaints or problems about receiving their product. That would be one potential metric that would help you understand the health of your product delivery. If we talk about accounting and accounting systems, you could look at, how many errors does my accountant identify every time I send over my accounting information? Again, that's a metric that you could look at to see, how well is my accounting working? So any system in your business, you've got some metric that you should be able to identify to use as a baseline. Once you have that base metric, start making changes to that system. Okay, identify, here is something or maybe a couple of things that you could change that should, you believe, give you different results from that system. Then you're going to measure those results after you make those changes. You're going to look at your metrics again. You're going to see, are those metrics getting better? Are they getting worse? Are they staying the same? And from there, make a judgment call. Either you're going to commit to the changes that you made, or you're going to revert back and do things how you did before this latest round of improvements. And then you can repeat that process over and over as many times as you want to. Use that baseline metric, make a change, measure the results, and then either commit or readjust. And you can continue to do that over and over until you get the improvements that you want out of your system. Now, one thing I want to caution here is this is where one of the concepts of the Pareto model applies, or the 80-20 rule. When you first make changes to a system, you're going to have minimal effort, larger results. Okay, you think about the Pareto principle. There are a lot of different ways to think about that and apply it. In this case, it means you're going to get 80% of the improvement with 20% of the effort. After that initial pass, each additional pass that you make on improving that system is going to take more effort to actually get an improvement, and the results that you see are going to get smaller. Okay. Now that's for one system. It doesn't mean for your whole business, you go fix one thing and you can stop because it's all going to be too hard. For one system. And the longer a system goes without you fixing it or improving it, the more opportunity is created for you to make improvements that give you big results. But just be careful. What you don't want to do is identify one system in your business and just continually iterate on that one system for months and months and years and try and make it perfect. You're not going to it's not going to be a good use of your time. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. You shouldn't make 2 or 3 passes on the same system before you go work on something else and just let things ride for a little bit. So coming to our last topic then, how do you get started? And this, again, this will apply to you if you are a new business, or if you're an existing business that's been operating for a long time and you haven't really applied continuous improvement in the past. This will work for either scenario. And it's actually very similar to what we talked through on how to use continuous improvement, how it relates to solving problems. How do you get started today? First, if you haven't done this already, get clear on what are the ultimate outcomes you want out of your business. Why are you in business? What are you doing? The next step would be to identify the 4 to 12 critical systems that you have in your business. What are the main things that your business does that makes it your business? What do you do for your customers? And how do you execute overall on being a business? Once you've got those systems identified, think about which one from your perspective has the biggest opportunity for improvement. And this is where, if you have employees, you can have them chime in as well, have them identify where they see the most problems. Take that information, identify one system that you want to work on. Once you have that one system identified, go through that same process we talked about with solving problems, okay? You want to identify a baseline, identify some metric that will help you understand the system performance as it stands today. You want to make a change to that system. You want to measure the results of that change, and then either commit those changes to be the new way you do things or revert back to the previous way. And then you can start the process over again using those latest measurements as your new baseline. Okay. And you go through that process 1, 2, maybe 3 times with the system, and you will get improvements in that system. Things will get better. You will get better outcomes. Eventually, what will happen is when you go back around and you look at all of the systems in your business and you say, which one is causing me the most problems? That initial system that you picked is now fixed, or it's now better than it was. So that's going to drop down the list and maybe be the 4th most painful thing in your business. You're going to have 3 other systems that are giving you more grief today, and you're going to go work on those other things. That's ultimately what you should see as you go through this mindset of continuous improvement. You go in, you improve a system. It's no longer the worst system in your business, and something else rises to the top. Then you go work on that system and improve that system. Something else will rise to the top. So that's how you really start going with continuous improvement in your business. Getting into it, again, it's really about the mindset and accepting that you can improve things in your business. You now have the tools to actually make improvements, and you believe you should make improvements and continually improve your business. You're in that mindset now. You can go out there and get to work. I appreciate you taking the time today. As always, you can email me if anything was unclear or doesn't make sense. Email me at brian@optimizeforoutcomes.com. You can also find me online on any of the social channels that are out there. I'm on quite a few of them. So message me there or email me. Either way, I will get back to you. Thanks for going through this today, and hopefully you found that valuable, and I will see you online.